Jai Hind to all. My name is Ashish Kumar and I am here Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Today I am going to discuss the topic that is JavaScript event and the subject is web designing. Let's start the session. So what is an event? JavaScript interaction with HTML is handled through events that occur when the user or the browser manipulate a page. When the page load, it is called an event. So let us take an example. Suppose in a browser screen, we have to put the button like this button, and the value of this button is click me. Okay, so this button we have to create through the input type as a button or itself button tag, right? Then the button is created. So what is an event? When the user or any person click on this button, then certain action is performed, right? So when the page load, it is called an event, or we can say that when the user clicks a button, that click to is an event. When you click on this button, this is called as a event, right? So when the user press or clicking the button, the certain action is performed and that action called as a event. Other example includes like pressing any key. So if you press any key through the keyboard, this is also type of as a keyboard event. Then closing a window, resizing a window, etc. So these are the events examples. Developer can use these events to execute JavaScript coded responses. So which causes button to close, window, messages to be displayed to user, data to be validated and all. HTML events are things that happen to HTML element. When JavaScript is used in HTML pages, it can react on these events. So JS lets you execute code when events are detected. Then HTML allow event handle attribute with the code called as a JavaScript. So here this diagram represent the event and we handle the event through the button and the value of this button as a click me. So firstly, user can interact with the page in a browser screen. In browser screen, this button called as a click me. When the user click this button, then an event occur. As you can see here, an event occur. After the event occur, the function, or we can say that event invocation. User click on this button, the certain action or event is performed. After that, a piece of JS code runs in response. I'll demonstrate the event later on. Then the page appearance is updated or modified in some way as a result. Whatever the function written in the event function code, so that statements are executed through the event. Now let us take some classification of different types of event. This is the most frequently used event type which occurs when a user click the left button of his mouse. You can put your validation warning against the event type. So through the click event, there are certain validations or warning you can perform through the event. For an example, like here, click event. So on click is an event. In this categories, there are two types of event. Number one is on click and the on double click. So on click event when button is clicked, on double click when a text is double click. Then another types of event as a load event. In load event we have to classify among 5 ways, namely as on load event when the page has been loaded, on error when an error occur when the loading an image, on load for image purpose, then on unload when the browser close the document, and the last one is the on resize when the browser window is resized. These are the some input events named as a on blur, on change, on focus, on select, on reset, on key down, on key press, on key up, on key down versus on key up. So here these are the some input event that some events work through the mouse, some events works from the keyboard, and some events that is work on the window screen. For an example, if we taken as an event called as a on blur event, right? So when a user leaves an input field, when a user leaves any input field like, so this is the text area input field in which the user then enter his first name, right? So on blur event says that when a user leaves an input field, so this box will be on blur. Similarly, if I am talking about the on change event, that means when a user changes the content of an input field. Somewhere, sometimes developer or person can change or modify the input element or input field, right? So let us take an example like, suppose here you can enter the first name of a person, okay? So this is the text box in which user can enter his first name like XYZ. So through the on change event, user changes the content of an input field. So then we have to use the on change function. Through this function or called as an event, we can change this first name from XYZ to the ABC. Okay. Similarly, on focus event says that when an input field gets focused, so this field will be focused by the event called as a on focus. On select when input text is selected. On submit when a user click the submit button. Let us take an example for this event on select event, like if we consider as a button, right? So this is the button created by the input element or through the button tag, right? Then button, through the button we have to put the box like this, and the value of this button name as a submit. So this submit button is created on your browser screen through the on submit event, right? I'll demonstrate how these events are performed on the VS Code. Later on, I'll just show you. So event name as a event name as a on submit. So this is the on submit event in which the function is invoked. Okay, so function name as a I am considering as a function 1. Okay, function 1. So in the JavaScript code, where in your code, where is the name as a function 1, like function 1, here is the some certain codes are written inside this block. When the user is click on this submit button, certain action is performed called as a event. I already told you. Then certain action is performed. So whatever written in this particular function, those statements are executed, because on submit button the function name as a function 1 called. Okay, similarly rest of our remaining event name as a on reset, on key down, on key press, on key up. So these are the keyboard event we will discuss later on. Mouse event, these are the some mouse event like on mouse over, on mouse out, similarly on mouse down, on mouse up, on mouse out. So statement of this event, when the mouse passes over an element, when the when user scroll or when user passes the mouse over the text, over the element, some changes are occurred. Similarly on mouse down, when mouse is clicked, alert which element. On mouse down, when mouse is clicked, alert which button. On mouse out, that statement says that when moving the mouse pointer over out of an event, when so suppose in your screen there are some certain images, some of images, so when your cursor are moving away from that images, some actions are performed. So I'll just demonstrate these events on VS Code. So this is the VS Code. It is a tool in which we have implement the JavaScript event. So just wait a minute. Yeah, so I already written this code. So this is an on click event. Okay, so this is this code represented in VS Code. This is the JavaScript code. Inside the body section, as you can see here, script tag. So script tag used in the JavaScript. Here we defined the function name as a click event, right? As you can see here, this is an click event. Inside this function we have to display, or we have to print the command or we can say the statement, namely as a this is on click event. So through the document dot write, we will print this statement on your browser screen. Let us take an example like in C language we have to use the predefined function name as the printf function. So through the printf, whatever written in the that function that will be printed on the Turbo C. Similarly in JavaScript the function name as the document.write. Inside this function, whatever we have to return, so this statement will be present on your browser screen or display on your browser screens. So this is the main JavaScript function. After that, button through the suppose if we want to create a button, so as already we know about how we can create the button. So button created through the input type, as I already told you. So this input type button is the subfield of the form. So through the input type button, here the event name as a on click. So as you can see here, on click is the event in which the function is called. Okay, so click event, as you can see here, this is the click event, the name as a function. So our function name as a click event, and it is this event function name, click event or click event are the same. If those function names are differ, then this code will produce an error. So will be aware about when you declare a function name, both the function name are the same. Okay, so on click event, this function is called as a click event, and the value of this button is a click me. Okay, so let's render this code. So this is the browser screen. As you can see here, when we render this particular code, the button is created and the name of this button as a click me. Okay, so when you click on this button, the certain event is performed, and that action called as an event. Okay, so when you can click on this button, whatever written in the function, that statements are executed. As you can see here, inside the function document.write, the statement name as a this is on click event. So as you can see here, when you click on the button, the certain function is call. Okay, so there is a difference between the function called or called. So if I am talking about the function call, so as you can see here, on click event, this function is call. So when the user click on the button, then function is called. So when the function is called, that means whatever written inside the function name as a click event, that statements are executed. Simple as that. So this is a difference between the function call or called, or we can say sometime we can say the function invoke or invoked. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, so let us take another example of an event as a on submit. So firstly, we have to understand what this code represent. So as you can see here, this code is similar to the previous one. Okay, here we define the button name as a submit, input type submit. So on submit event is performed onto the form. Okay, so this event called name as a on submit, and this event is performed in the form. So on submit, then function name as a confirm input. As you can see here, confirm input. So here is the confirm input. That means somewhere in JavaScript code, this function is declared, right? So as you can see here, inside the script tag, the function name as the confirm input is declared. Okay, so through the on submit event, when user can click on the on submit, then certain event is performed, and that event namely as a function name as the confirm input. Okay, so the console now goes from this function and find out where the function name as a confirm input is defined. So as you can see here, our function name as a confirm input is defined inside the script tab. Okay, so whatever written in this function, those statements are executed. So whatever written, like as you can see here, f name, that is first name, document.form first name dot value, and we using the pop-up box called name as a alert. So through the alert there will be a pop-up box through in which we have to mention the user's input name. Okay, so as you can see here, enter your name, input id is the f name and type is the text, size the 20. So here is the id. So this id name as the first name, or as you can see here inside the alert, hello plus f name. So we bind the first name with concatenation with the hello, or after providing the name, what are the written inside this function, you will now redirect to the www.akgec.ac.in website. So I'll just render this code. You can understand what I'm saying to you. Okay, so this is the enter your name. This is the text field in which user can enter his or her name, and after filling his name, then user press on the submit button. After submit button, then certain event is performed, and what that event says, that means you will be redirect to this particular college website. Okay, so suppose now I am entering here name as a Ashish. Okay, so this is my name. After submit the button, then after submit, as you can see here, on submit is the event, and that event is work on the form, because this field work on the form. So when you click on this submit button, the function name as a confirm input call, and the console now goes to this function, and we have to alert like here. As you can see here, this is an alert. Now what the sentence are written, hello Ashish, you will now be redirected to the www.akgec.ac.in. Okay, so when you can okay, now as you can see here, you can redirect to our college website name as Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. So this event perform through the on submit event, right? I hope this on submit event is clear to all. Now let us take another event. So this is an onload event. Here is the code for the onload event. As you can see here, onload image, that is perform onto the image. So firstly we have to define the image path through the src, that is source, and here is the onload event in which the function is called name as a load image. So where is our function is defined here inside the script tab, the function defined as a load image, and we have to use as a pop-up box through the alert. So this image is loaded. Now let's render this particular code. So as you can see here, image is loaded because this is the pop box comes from the alert. When you click on this OK, so your image is loaded. Okay, so this is an onload. Next category of the event, mouse event. So similarly, this is a on click event. Similar, same code, same concept. Input type button, on click, here click event, and value of the click event. So this is a click event. Render. Okay, I think this code I'm already tell you. Okay, mouse over. This is a mouse event name as a on mouse over. So as you can see here, we define the only one heading through the h1 tag, and statement inside this tag as a hover me for changing color. So on mouse over, when mouse is over, then color, style of color is red when on mouse event. So here two events are occurred, name as a on mouse over and the next event as a on mouse out. So whenever user scroll on mouse over, the color change will be red, and on mouse event the color will be black. Let us take an example. So render this code. So hover me for changing color. By default, this color of this particular heading is a black, and now color is change. The colors will be changes from black to the red. So this is a mouse event. Similarly, another event, this is an mouse over event. Whenever user moves the cursor towards the text. So this is a event name as a mouse over. Here we defined the paragraph. Inside the paragraph, whatever is it, keep cursor over to me. When the cursor over towards the text, then certain action or certain event is performed, name as a mouse over event, and we have to use the pop-up box name through the alert. So this is mouse over event. Let's render this code. So keep cursor over to me. When the cursor is over to you, over to this text, then alert will be performed, has been performed. As you can see here, this is a mouse over event. Okay. Similarly, for keyboard event, as you can see here, this is an keyboard event. Here we have used the event name as on key down. So through the key down, when the user press the keyboard, then certain action or event is performed. Let's render this code. So enter something here, like I am entering some name. Whenever I'm click any key, so keyboard event is performed. Okay, so I click alphabet A, then certain alert is performed, name as a event. So this is all about the JavaScript event. Thank you to everyone.